Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Wolf, and this is Final Fantasy XIV. Gonna be continuing on our Bard today. I'm having a blast playing the Bard. But I am gonna actually start this stream off by saying, as much as I have enjoyed having all the different games each day and everything, you know, I love playing all the different variety of games that we have. I think I've made a final decision that going forward from this week, we will be a predominantly Battlefield stream. Battlefield stream. I have myself on the hype train for Battlefield 6. Obviously, that plays a big part, but certainly in the last couple months, I have really been kind of feeling like I really think about playing Battlefield a lot, and Battlefield 6 has just kind of just put gasoline on that fire, you know. So starting next week, we will be primarily Battlefield focused. I still am going to have my time with Apex Legends with Jeremy and Alex, but every other day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, will be Battlefield. So this evening, I will be doing a couple hours of this, and then after that, which I should be okay to keep going. I'm probably going to fire up some Battlefield, and you, of course, are more than welcome to join me after the fact. It won't be a scheduled stream. I'll just start up a stream, and, you know, we'll be off to the races. But for right now, we're back in Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm going to continue with this. But before we do that, we have to do the one thing that I only require of you each time you join me on my streams, and that is to say the Pledge of Allegiance to honor this great country. So let's do it. Hocus pocus! I'm an idiot, I know. I'm trying to zhuzh it up every stream, so don't blame me. Anyway, you can sit or stand, of course. I care not which you do. Whichever one is comfortable to you. However, what I do require is that you put your luxurious, expensive, valuable right hand like this. Fingers straight. Not like this. Not like that. Straight. Bark, bark. And you put them firmly. All these fingers. Firmly. Gently, but firmly. Over your heart. And repeat these words after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One thing I'm also constantly struggling with, because of course I am, is whether or not to stream directly from the PS5, now that we're only going to be focusing on one game category and franchise. It'd certainly be easier, but I still have a problem with the quality of the audio bitrate that the PS5 puts out with my microphone. It's not good. It's not good at all. So, probably won't do that, but every time I'm just like, man, it would just be so much simpler. Everything would be simpler. I wouldn't have all this. I mean, I'd still have my computer to record things. But in terms of streaming, man, it'd be so much easier. I actually just looked up the the InZone M9, the first one, because they came out with a second one. It's called the M9 II. I know, super original. And it looks boring. The M9 II is just black frame and, you know, regular looking stand. The M9 I was so unique looking and very like PS5. And I really want it, but Sony took it off their website. So now, I had to go to Amazon. Well, as it turns out, it's cheaper on Amazon. Okay. And I can have a pay over time with Afram, is the company that does that. And I could have my M9 monitor as my primary, and I can mount it on the arm and everything, and that's what I would do. I actually have a 2-monitor arm mount, I think, out there, I think. And so I'm when I get my credit cards all squared away, that I'll probably do that so I can get that monitor before it goes out of style or just out of production. It's a 4K 144 hertz display with full array local dimming and HDR 600, I think. I should be heard, right? 600? Oh yeah, that's fine. All right, I just want to make sure, because I remember when the last time I had the game volume all the way up, it was pretty loud, and I couldn't really be heard. But I mean, I've moved my microphone a little bit closer here, so should be okay. But yeah, my Battlefield streams not just the streams, but the shorts that I upload seem to be quite, they're doing really well. So it's like, I guess Battlefield content is relatively popular. I am planning on doing, I'm thinking about it, maybe doing Battlefield content when 6 comes out, where I kind of like go like through all the weapons. It's the only thing I'm thinking about right now, is going through each of the weapons and showcasing some gameplay on it and what I think of the weapon in terms of the attachments and stuff like that. What I feel like would be the best attachments for it, so on and so forth. And that eventually might just turn out to be like, for the large majority of, you know, like say the assault rifles, most of them would probably benefit greatly from probably the same attachments, but I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of just go through the weapons and just kind of make some content on them. I'm not really one for scripting things. I've only scripted 2 videos in my entire career, and I didn't really like either one of them. Like, I did one for, I wanted to do, at the time it was Gamers Platform, I wanted to do GP News, or Gamers Platform News, and that really didn't feel right to me. I didn't read it right. So I only did 1 episode of that. And then I did a script, which I think I only did for like half the video because it wasn't long enough. And or maybe I didn't, I don't know. But it was for Hellblade 1. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. That one was a little better. It was a little bit better. Now, the only reason that I've been so reluctant to choose one game to stream as a streamer is simply the fact that I feel like if I don't play them, then I'm never going to. And that's just simply not true. You know, I could definitely play these on my off time. Obviously, I could do anything I want in my off time. Oh, this is hard mode. Nice. So I always had it in my brain, like, if I'm not playing these on stream, then I'm not ever gonna play the games, and that's just not true, obviously. So and that's really what's held me back from, like, just picking a game and sticking with it and being a one-game streamer. But being that Battlefield has so many different games in the franchise that, you know, there's themes for everybody. So really, I think that's ultimately why, you know, because I feel like if I didn't play this every week, then I'd never play it, and it's partially true, you know, I mean, I've got such a massive backlog, but I mean, you hope that the games that you bought aren't going anywhere, but Ubisoft has definitely shown that not to be very true. And now Anthem is on its way out, and I just thought about how much I really need to get back to playing that. Even though I got the platinum, I did want to continue playing it for the challenges and stuff, and not just the challenges, but the gameplay, because I really like the gameplay. But I very much have enjoyed having the variety of streams each night, but I do think it's time that I just I just accept the fact that Battlefield is really my thing. I mean, most first-person shooters, I suppose, would be. But I can't deny the fact that I've just been thinking about Battlefield a lot, so. And I want to keep playing it. That's why tonight, you know, we'll do a couple hours of this, but then we're going right back into Battlefield afterwards. Like I said, I'll start up a different stream. That was easy. Hey, Rob. Finals is yours. I also have been thinking about re-downloading that game as well. Because they do have the 5v5 mode that I actually enjoy. And now that they've got the new destruction system built in, I kind of want to experience that as well. Because it looks awesome. Nice. Yeah, but it's more refined, I would say. And when I saw Jack's video, I was very impressed. Thoughts on the Be Quiet Dark Mount mechanical keyboard? I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know Be Quiet was making peripherals. I know they were making cases and fans, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta say, Rob, I am genuinely happy to see you back into, like, first-person shooters, because, I mean, back in the day, even you were all about Call of Duty and Halo and stuff. I know that you don't have a whole lot of time to be playing a lot of video games lately, but at least something's caught your eye. And it's nice to see that you've joined the fray, man. Little first-person shooter action. Also, tonight, I'm probably going to play the PS4 version of Battlefield 2042 instead of the PS5 version. The PC players just, they frustrate me. I was just playing the PS5 version the other night because I felt like, you know, the FFXIV is going to be crossplay. And I have to assume that they're not going to give us the ability to turn off crossplay against PC players, so I have to be ready for it. I was gonna say, the big guy's not on our side here. I've obviously done this one, but I just don't remember it at all. Man, he almost died there. Uh-oh. Ow. I see. Oh, oh my god. Okay. Alright. That's a thing. That's a thing. Interesting. Wait, so who's the second guy? Do I have a Phoenix down? Because that'd be awesome. Okay. Alright, well, that was weird. Oh boy. Ow. I'm dead. Oh, that's balls, dude. Bro, what the hell? Oh, man. It's this part that's really messed up. Because you can't, you have to hit things, you have to hit them fast enough. But there's just too many. But he's the tank, so. Excuse me? Oh my god. And then he's, yeah, he's gonna be running around like that. Dude, what the hell? I don't remember this at all, and he ran him over. Those bombs are going to be a problem. Getting used to those. Whoop. This dude wastes my freaking ballad, man. So annoying. Alright, so we gotta get ready just to punch him out. Yeah, we're good. That's what I'm talking about. That was a good job. That was much better. Push him as far out as you can. Boom. We nailed it this time. Dude, look at this. This should be the last one. Yeah, basically anybody who's got like an AoE does really well with that. It's too bad it doesn't hurt him. Here comes the big one. Not this time, man. Oh, there goes the healer again. I mean, it's literally, he's just charging. You just gotta move, that's all. He's done now. There we go. Not bad. I'll give it to him because he tried. He tried. First time. I mean, it's basically my first time too. I don't remember this one at all. Like, not even remotely. Put a noise suppression on the microphone there since it's right next to my face now. Okay. Cool. So. Where am I? I'm still 57. Currency. Here's what we're going to try and do. Because I'm trying to remember. I think I wanted to go for primal gear. Item level 240. It only requires Allegan tomestones, so I could do that. It looks pretty cool. But let's see, what's the Mighting gear, prototype Alexandrian. There's the Shire gear. Also level 60. But its item level is higher at 270. Huh. Also, it looks like I'm basically a proper lad with this gear, because you see the headpiece here. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're like dapper. And Alexandrian gear requires manifestos. Oops. I went to the prototype Alexandrian gear. I've got this stuff. I've actually got this stuff. But there's no weapon. And that's the kicker. This is just an armor set. That looks cool. See, all this lower level gear looks so much sicker. Might and Manifesto. That looks okay, that already looks sick. But here's the thing, okay? We can go 240, but I think obviously we're gonna try and go 270. Oh, it even shows. I'm an idiot, dude. It literally shows right there. This is tomestones. This is tombstone. We're gonna go with the Shire gear. Clean. I like it. It's gonna be a lot though. So we go. Let's do this. 600. 345. 510. 345. Yeah, so it's like, it's obviously well over 2,000. So, but we can only gather 2,000 at a time. So, I'm already out of my stuff. Give me a second here. Let's do. Yeah, why not? All right, I'm gonna go refill my drink. Be right back. But yeah, yeah, when I have time, I try to play. I've just lost a lot of motivation after working long hours. I don't blame you. You know, gaming especially today has become such a time sink. Whereas back in the day, you know, I remember you'd be playing Call of Duty 1 on your laptop, and it was just, you know, you get in, play a couple matches, get out and do something else. You know, it's like there was no leveling. There was no. It was just games were supposed to just be fun, and then it just turned into every game had to have progression and all this stuff, and it's just like it becomes overwhelming, and that's why it's been difficult for me to just keep up with all these live stream or live service games. You know, I stopped playing Destiny 2 for other reasons, but you know, I'm glad I did, because yet again, it's another live service that I now have to compete with stuff like this and Division 2 and Call of Duty and Battlefield and all these other games. And it's just, I think that's also been a big problem, is that obviously over the years many people have told me just pick a game and, you know, get that audience and then you can go variety. But I've always been a variety streamer, so it's kind of hard for me to just do that. So it does kind of, you know, it obviously now it might be a good time, just because I'm starting to realize what game I really want to play all the time, and it lately, as of late, certainly as of late, it's been Battlefield. You know, and I agree. I do think I should be picking a game and sticking with it instead of, you know, finding different games all the time, trying to play everything all at once. If I have one game that I know I'm going to play, I never have to question, well, what am I going to play now? Well, I'm playing Battlefield all the time. If that's the only game I'd stream, then, well, I know what I'm streaming. After this, so I'll do like a couple hours. We'll probably go to like 10 o'clock with this game. And then after that, I'll just start up a different stream and I'll just play Battlefield. I'm going to be playing the PS4 version because the PC players just, they really pissed me off yesterday. I was not really happy with them. And I know that if I play the PS5 version late at night, like 10 o'clock at night, I'm gonna just be dealing with nothing but sweaties all damn night, so I'd rather avoid that. I don't want to play with PC players tonight. They really frustrated me last night. You know, and I was at least on the PS4 version, I can get a decent amount of kills. It's not that I don't want to play with you. I don't want to play with any PC players tonight. I played Battlefield 5 or Battlefield on PS5 version last night because I know that in Battlefield 6, I don't know if they're going to give us the option to turn off crossplay with PC players. I have a feeling that it may not be a thing, so I just figured, you know what, if I'm going to be playing with PC players, I might as well get used to it. But Battlefield 2042 is a very different beast compared to something like Battlefield 4. You know, and certainly a very different beast compared to Battlefield 6. The movement is drastically different in Battlefield 6. It's more like Battlefield 3, but with a couple added features like sliding, which Battlefield 3 did not have. So you can slide again. You can still slide, but there's no slide jumping, I think. Not from what I saw. There's no bunny hopping, as far as I know. Some people seem to think bunny hopping is still a thing in the game, but I didn't see it when I was watching Level Cap play, so I think that Battlefield 6 is going to feel very, very much at home for Battlefield. And I'm not going to have to deal with people bunny hopping and doing all the stupid little tricks that they do. And the weapons don't, so far, they look pretty good. There's probably a lot of balancing that they have to do, but for the most part, it didn't look like there was just one weapon that was being used, which is what I want to see. I want to see a variety of weapons. Oh, by the way, this is the main scenario quest that I always thought that we were going to do, but then again, even... there was even a main scenario quest where it was like, was it 8 people or something? I don't know. Going to have campaign co-op. Yes, it's going to have campaign co-op. Probably not. Co-op has never been the strongest suit of Battlefield. Battlefield 3 had a good co-op. It was difficult, but it had a good co-op. It was like, it was a 2-person co-op. But they did not mention co-op with Battlefield 6, which it'd be nice, but that's not their focus. Campaign, I don't know if you can play through campaign co-op, but there will be a campaign. There's going to be a battle royale. It looks as though, in my opinion, based on what I saw, it looks like they're bringing back Firestorm from Battlefield 5, because their little snippet that they showed, there was fire, like hills on fire. So I think Firestorm is coming back in a very different way, but they're giving it another shot, and you know what? I'm happy. I've been kind of battle royaled out for years at this point, but the one battle royale that I actually really liked when I did play it was Battlefield 5 Firestorm. So I'm happy to see that they're doing it, and hopefully they learn from their first mistake and they don't put it behind a paywall. They make it free to play, because that's what will bring people in. So I'm assuming Battlefield's new Firestorm Battle Royale mode will be free to play. So at least there will be a Battlefield that people can just pick up and play instead of having to spend $70 or $100 on Battlefield 6. And then if you want to play the multiplayer, you want to see what it's like, then you have to buy the game. I, of course, am going to be super stoked about the campaign. And while I am probably... I mean, we got the beta coming up next week. So next weekend, we're going to be playing... We're going to be streaming a lot. All week next week, next weekend. Because Saturday and Sunday, the open beta will be available for everybody. The 7th and 8th are for early access, people who got a beta code while watching the streams yesterday. And then the next week after that, the 14th through the 17th, is open beta for everybody. So 4 days of Battlefield 6, and I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be streaming a lot of Battlefield 6. And then when the game comes out on October 10th, we're doing the whole thing. I'm taking off that Friday, which, again, surprisingly enough, it's coming out on a Friday. And all that weekend, we're just going to be streaming. As much as I wish that I had the stamina for 24-hour streams, I just don't. But I will stream as long as I can. I want to get as much time in as possible on Battlefield 6 when it comes out. Not that it's not gonna... I'm not gonna put in time because it's, you know, it's coming out. You know, it's just... I'll have it. It'll be out by then, so I'll be able to stream it every day. I'm second place in the, or I'm actually first in damage. Damn. And believe me, I've been thinking about reinstalling Battlefield 2042 back on my PC. The problem I have with that is, obviously I want the higher frame rate, which definitely is a benefit. But, the problem is that every time I swap between PC and console, there's a weird bug that happens, and it's like I have to do a bunch of finagling just to get it to work, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that. As much as I'd like the higher frame rate. That's why I'm hoping that Battlefield 6 will be, at least they'll attempt to try to hit 120 FPS. It's okay if they don't. I need the netcode to be better. That's all I'm asking. The netcode has to be better than what it is in Battlefield 2042. Even the PS5 version of 2042 definitely has a disadvantage compared to PC. A lot of money into my gaming setup, so I think I'm going to use it more often. Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't want it to go to waste. That's why, like, I'm so... That's why I'm so, like, I'm always thinking about, man, you know, I'd really like to, you know, I want to make sure that my consoles are here, everything's here, and I use it as often as I can, because I feel like I'm just wasting my money otherwise. You know, my Series S is right there, my PS3, my PS4, my gaming rig. It's like, it's all just sitting here, and I'm playing on my PS5 because I really want to play all these systems, but there's just never enough time in the day or week or month. So, you know, now, I'm not saying I'm done streaming other games. I think on the weekends, if I feel like doing a stream on the weekend, I'll probably, you know, play the other games on the weekend where I have tons more time, especially with the single player games like Expedition 33. I'll have tons more time to put into it. Or this, you know, same thing. There'll just be so much more time to put into single player experiences. Whereas, you know, during the week, I've got only maybe a 2 or 3 hours to stream. And, well, a multiplayer game like Battlefield, one of my favorite franchises, would be the perfect candidate for daily streams. If I decide to stream on a weekend, then, you know, that's where the single player games come in, because there's just so much more time to play them. And that'll be dependent on whether or not I actually want to play them, or if I just want to play more Battlefield. But I think that's, you know, that's a reasonable thing to feel. It's just like, I've spent this much money on this rig. I'm not getting the most out of it, so I really need to start using it more. I have invested a lot of my time and energy and money into my PlayStation 5. I obviously didn't build it, but like, I've got the PS5, I got the PSVR 2, I've got the DualSense Edge, I got a new freaking Pulse Elite headset because my other one broke at the freaking band. You know, a lot of my focus is always on my PlayStation, whether that is the PS3, the PS4 Pro, or the PS5. I would love to have a PS5 Pro, but it's just completely overpriced and pointless. If they had priced the PS5 Pro at like $500, maybe $550, I would have bought it. No doubt. I would have bought it. Absolutely. But it's not like when we were going from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro. The leap is just not there. And to ask for $700-800 because I would want a disc drive, so I would have to spend another $80 on that, and then presumably $30, but I did actually look on Amazon, and they do have the stands for $15 for half the price, so, you know. But assuming I spend the money on a stand, you know, full price, $30, you know, we're looking at $800 for what is arguably not an upgrade, essentially, because not all the games use PSSR, and the PS5 Pro enhanced games really don't show any major improvements aside from maybe using PSSR and maybe, you know, a frame rate bump, but that's about it. You know, I'll wait for the PlayStation 6, which the PlayStation 6 it better have full backwards compatibility. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm sick of this nonsense where it's like, they started with the PS3. They had two consoles that were full backwards compatible. No, they had 4 consoles that were, no, 2 that were full, 2 that were partial, essentially. And then they just stopped altogether. You know, the PS4 was playing only PS4 games. And then the PS5 came out and it's playing PS4 and PS5 games. But, you know, the PS5 also has a Blu-ray player in it, so why shouldn't it be able to play the PS3 games? So, especially with the more power, you know. But my focus for a long time now has been PlayStation. I play everything on PlayStation. And the majority of the games that I have installed on my PC are primarily they are PC only games. Older titles and some newer ones that only came to PC. You know, because a large majority of games nowadays are coming to everything. They're going to PC, they're going to consoles. So I don't really... And more than likely, Starfield is going to come to PlayStation 5. So while I do have Starfield on my Series S, I'm probably just going to buy Starfield on PS5 and play it on there because it'll be able to do 60 FPS better. Or 40 FPS with higher graphics. I mean, it really depends on... You know, and with a lot of games nowadays, especially with multiplayer and co-op going cross-play, it's almost too easy to choose just one platform at this point. It's way too easy just to choose one platform to play on. And I love the fact that I can do that. I want developers to actually... I want them to actually put keyboard and mouse support on console more often. I was surprised recently when I played FBC Firebreak that it has full keyboard and mouse support. I had no idea. I accidentally found out by bumping the mouse when I had it plugged into my PS5, and I'm like, holy shit, it's actually, like, the game's actually working with keyboard and mouse, which was really cool. And the input latency was really good. I was surprised. So, needless to say, I was very happy to see that, because I'm telling you right now, if Battlefield 6 has keyboard and mouse support on console and it's good in terms of like its input latency, I might go back to keyboard and mouse. I might, because I always enjoyed playing Battlefield on keyboard and mouse back in the day, but it was more or less Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. 2042 I've been able to do okay on. It's just... it's more like Call of Duty, and I was never really good with Call of Duty on keyboard and mouse, so I don't know. I may not, just because I've spent an assload of money on this thing, so I'm, you know, if I'm gonna buy the best peripherals for my PlayStation, I'm gonna use them. Keyboard and mouse I can do without. But, you know, having a keyboard hooked up is nice, because then I can type and everything, which is pretty cool. It is honestly tough, but because, like I said, because they're making, you know, games widely more available on PC and console, and they're doing crossplay, it's actually easier to choose the platform of your choice. The platform that you most likely want to play on, which I love that. Will I get the best graphics or the highest frame rate off of PlayStation? No. But I honestly don't care. Like, it's cool when a game hits 100 or has a 120 hertz or 120 FPS mode. I would prefer it just for the lower input latency, but rather than the high frame rate, I would just prefer it for the lower input latency. But you know, if it can hit it, like Apex Legends can sort of hit it, it's a benefit, and I don't mind it. But I also play a lot of games because they're locked at 60 FPS, and I'm used to it. I think minimum first-person shooters should be 60 FPS. Minimum. What was I saying? So I've been playing. I mean, in most games this generation have been at 60 FPS. Most first-person shooters have been 60 FPS. So I don't have to worry about them at least trying to hit 60 for the most part. Space Marine 2 aside.
Do you believe in Eorzea?
Do you believe this guy actually joined our side?
Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an instrument of deception.
I wonder if there was two different voice actors for Gaius.
It is not but a cobweb.
Because he sounds way different later on.
To believe in Eorzea is to believe in nothing. In Eorzea, the beast tribes often summon gods to fight in their stead, though your comrades only rarely respond in kind. Which is strange, is it not?
Maybe.
Are the 12 otherwise engaged? I was given to understand they were your protectors. If you truly believe them your guardians, why do you not repeat the trick that served you so well in Cartano and call them down? They will answer, so long as you lavish them with crystals and gorge them on ether. Your gods are no different from those of the beasts. Icons, every one. Except but this, and you will see how Eorzea's faith is bleeding the land dry. Nor is this unknown to your masters, which prompts the question, why do they cling to these false deities? What drives even men of learning, even the great Louis Soir, to grovel at their feet? The answer? Your masters lack the strength to do otherwise. For the world of man to mean anything, man must own the world.
To think this guy was this dumb.
Ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the dust of battle settles, it is ever the strong who dictate the fate of the weak. Knowing this, but a single path is open to the impotent ruler, that of false worship. A path which leads to innovation and death. Only a man of power can rightly steer the course of civilization. And in this land of creeping mendacity, that one truth will prove its salvation. Come, champion of Eorzea, face me. Your defeat shall serve as proof of my readiness to rule. It is only right that I should take your realm, for none among you has the power to stop me.
Oh, but we do. Oh, you sweet summer child. Damn, I got 151,000 points from that last fight. Damn. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm literally on the cusp of leveling. I almost didn't pay attention to that. Lucky me. Oh, go right in between here. I think also I really genuinely need to. Whoop. I do need to actually learn to play video games by myself offline again, because that's one thing that I've just gotten so far away from, because I feel like I have to stream everything. Because I've become addicted to the idea of just sharing my experiences with people. And while that's not a bad thing, obviously, it's detrimental to me being able to actually finish games, play them within a reasonable amount of time, that sort of thing. Man, these boss battles are way easier than the new ones. Got it. So cool, man. I mean, you know, he died there, so I don't know why he wasted his time doing that. But that was that. Oh, I can do the next job quest. Nice. I got a player accommodation. Yay. Tombstones are what we're really after, let's be honest. We're almost at 1,000 already. Now the question is, there's not too many that... There's the Alliance raid, which offers some, so we could do that. Yeah, let's do that. We have another hour. We have less than 5 minutes. I have time. Be right back. But yeah, that's why when looking at like new PC parts and stuff like that to upgrade my rig, I just can never pull the trigger. Technically, all I need is a new motherboard. And that's it. I don't technically need new storage. I don't technically need a new graphics card. I just need a new board. Because my thought on this is that I create an all-in-one. A rig that has a motherboard that has 3 PCI slots. And I found one that's actually reasonably priced. It has one PCI 4.0 and 2 PCI 3.0s. The 4.0, of course, would have the main graphics card. So like my GTX 1060 or 1660 Super. And then the second slot would have my 5500 XT, which would be my main graphics card that I would play off of. The 1660 Super would be the rendering card or encoding card for streaming and rendering videos and stuff like that, because it has the better encoders. And then the third slot would be for my capture card. And then the 1660 Super would eventually be placed by an Intel Arc card because they have the AV1 encoder, which is the best. I'm looking to get an A310, which you can only get it on like eBay or Amazon, but it's cheap. You get the low profile version. You don't have to give its own power. It takes power from the motherboard, which is perfect because all I'm going to have it do is encode for OBS and, you know, rendering videos and stuff. And then I can swap out my 5500 XT for the 1660 Super as my main gaming card. That's my idea anyway, to have one computer that does everything. But I always look at the whole thing and I'm just like, but am I gonna play on it? I just don't think so. Like I'm just kind of beside myself. I'm looking at my whole setup. I love it. You know, I got my PS4 Pro here. It's mostly, well, it's not mostly. I am actually using it as a PS4. You know, I've got my PS4 games installed on there as well as the VR games. It is mostly a VR box, but I have decided that I am going to go back to PS5 has only PS5 games, but if it's a PS4 game and it's multiplayer like Battlefield 2042 and it benefits from the PS5 from the more raw horsepower to get the frame rate rock solid, then I'll put it on the PS5 on the M.2 slot drive. Whereas all other PS5 games like single player and co-op essentially, but mostly single player games, go on the internal drive, the console storage. And then the PS4 Pro will be used for strictly PS4 games. Unless explicitly a PvP multiplayer game, then it goes on the PS5 for like maximum performance. And while yes, Division 2, stuff like Division 2, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Ghost of Tsushima, they all got a massive, you know, frame rate boost, or they got an update to play on PS5 with higher frame rate. You know, I played them on PS4 and I was fine with it. So, you know, they were programmed for PS4. They're meant to be played on PS4. So I'm okay with that. You know, I loved my PC gaming days. I will remember them fondly, especially for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I was actually relatively decent on the PC version of those games. Not really so much these days. But I think for the large majority of the time, unless I want to play something that's literally only a PC game, I'm just not going to be using it. I'm going to be playing on the PS5. And I'll tell you what, it'd be far easier to cable manage everything if I only had a PS5 plugged in. Are we all going this way? Yep, I guess we are. I guess they don't stack. Let's see if I remember this. Oh, somebody died already? One of our healers died. We got 3 down. That's unfortunate. Somebody better get them up. I'm so happy I don't have to do that anymore. I could do it on my summoner, but, you know. We have other healers that can get them up. I shouldn't waste my... Even if I was summoner, I shouldn't waste my MP. Look at this. Oh, I can't. I'm not close enough. Damn it. Get out of the thing. Pools of Oblivion. You know, and recently I've gotten back into the idea of playing Fallout 76, playing ESO. I mean, yet again, 2 more MMOs that are gonna take a lot of time to do, you know? We got some powerful people here. But I do think that it is time for me to just start focusing on a franchise that I know like the back of my hand. And, you know, I've always wanted to be a knowledgeable person in one particular game, like this game, for example. Imagine if all I ever did was play this game. I'd know the ins and outs of it by now like the back of my hand. I wouldn't have any questions about what to do, where to go, who to talk to about certain things or whatever. I would just know because I've spent 10 years playing this game. But The reality is I have not actually been spending 10 years of this game. I've been subscribed to it for a large portion of those 10 years. But that's... What am I in? I'm in Alliance C. But I've been on and off playing it for 10 years. And while I do know the majority of the game in terms of, like, you know, how to play it and stuff like that. Ow. Yeah, it doesn't look like they stack. The fact of the matter remains is that I'm just not that knowledgeable in this game. You know, when I play through an entire class, yeah, I know that class like, you know, no big deal. But I do know that if there's one game franchise that I feel like I've been relatively knowledgeable in, it's... Wait, which uh-oh. I don't know which one my team's on. I think this is it. This is it. Okay. Thank God. I'm like, wait a minute. But I think Battlefield is something that I've been, you know, relatively knowledgeable in, I suppose. It's easy enough for me to understand. I've gone through every single weapon, especially with 2042. I've gone through every weapon. I don't know every weapon perfectly, but I know once I start using it again, I'll remember, like, oh yeah, this weapon plays out this way. That sort of thing, you know? And I know which attachments are good to use. And Battlefield 2042, there's really only, like, maybe one attachment of each category. You know, to be honest, you guys have seen me use the same suppressor for all the weapons or the same compensator, the Warhawk. I think it was the Warhawk compensator. Or no, it was the Champion muzzle brake, sorry. Not the Warhawk compensator, the Champion muzzle brake. So, you know, I kind of get an idea as to what I'm looking for here, or what I'm doing in that game. Damn it, he's invulnerable now. Oh, he's not vulnerable yet. Never mind. Woo! I don't think so, pal. And he's dead. I mean, he was invulnerable, so I'm not entirely sure how... we were doing damage to him, but I'm not going to really question it. He's dead, so... Whoa! The lag, though. Ooh, wait. Oh, they're worse. Oh, that's actually a really short cooldown. Why don't people just spam this? Just keep us, you know, sprinting. That's cool. Might as well join the jumping party. So, yeah, I mean... I guess it's because I'm getting older, and I'm starting to realize how little time I have to spend on some games like this, for example. Like, I love this game to death, and I love Final Fantasy as a general, you know, genre or game franchise. But at the same time, it takes a lot of time. Whereas Battlefield, you can get in, get out. You can go and play a match, and then get out. You know, that sort of thing. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours on it unless, of course, it's something you really want to play. All right? So, that's just my thought process. You know, and if I play every single game on stream, I'm really not going to get them, you know, a whole lot of games done. See, I like the alliance raids because people generally know what they're doing, and they're also like extremely powerful. So it's nice to see, and it's relatively just straightforward and easy to get through. I just used my freaking combo, or my ballad. Sorry, that sucks. Uh-oh. Two people didn't get the memo. That was easy. But I'm excited though because, you know, Battlefield 6 has really just gotten me so hyped to just be a part of the series and just do a lot of my streaming on that game. This way? Nope. So it is just left to right ABC. Got it. Yeah, so A is over there. I was hoping people would mark, but I mean, it looks like people relatively know where they're going. I'm just not in range. Whoa, I almost didn't make it there. Oh no! Ah, you bastard. No, I'm gonna get hit! Oh, come on, dude. Help me out, man. Get this thing off me. For fuck, man. I didn't deserve to get hit there. Oh, what? Wow. That's a bit unfortunate. I will say this, I don't miss having to summon... I definitely don't have... I don't miss having to summon a frickin'... Well, frickin' carbuncle every single time. Oh, wait, do we go... We don't need to go there. We did have it. I don't know what happened. I gotta see if Peloton does what I think it does. Increase movement speed of self and nearby party members, 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I think it was. See how quickly we got that one off of him? That should have happened for me. Just, you know, to be a little selfish. I think I deserve to be a little selfish. It was rude that they didn't... I'm gonna wait. It's gonna waste my thing. Well, maybe not. We're gonna have the, big guy here. There we go. Bye-bye. The Alliance raids are definitely some of the more fun raids in the game. Yeah, look at that. Look at how fast we got him off of there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna lose some people. Actually, we're gonna lose all of us. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I am so happy the raids are not... Like, these earlier raids are so much easier to understand. Way easier to understand. Who thought we had it that time? Yeah, no, people are... Why are people using that? You literally just go forward. Oh, my camera actually is a little bit too big. There we go. I just realized that after an hour and a half. Big fat tacos. I had Mexican for lunch today. It's sitting with me, which I hate. I mean, it's pretty easy to see what he's gonna do. Like, when he goes to the center and he powers up, like right now, we just go back to the pads. This is, like, super easy to read. How did this guy... Like, how did he not die? He was inside the freaking circle when he fired off there, so that was weird. Don't you come after me. Yeah, there you go. Because I actually, you know, I'm on top of that. I can be the good Samaritan. He's going back. Go back to the pad. When you see him go to center, go back to pad. That's super easy to understand. I don't know how many we're supposed to have, but on the pad to activate the shield, but there you go. We did it. Boosh. Give it to one of the healers, I guess. I'm not going to get any one of those. 40. Okay, I got one. There you go. Yeah, I really like the Alliance raids. They're a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure... Was that... No. Okay, that was just completely different. I don't know what the Allegan... catalyst is for, but whatever. Currency. Okay, so now we've exhausted our dailies of bonus Allegan tomestones. Now we have to actually find one to farm, and unfortunately, even though we can do those ones in Heavensward, they don't award us with tomestones. So, I guess hard is really not that big a deal. So, these all offer. Now, here's the thing. I could just keep doing high-level dungeons. And hopefully, I mean, the high level is 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay? Hopefully, because I'm level 58, it'll choose something that, I mean, it'll choose something that has tomestones in it. Right? But it'll be a shorter wait time. I could just pick one to farm for 100 tomestones at a time, but the wait times vary depending on the dungeon. At least this will get me in a dungeon, even if it doesn't award me 100 tomestones at a time. I will at least be able to accumulate them a little faster. Which is why the roulette is a much better idea. I'm very excited for Battlefield 6 though. The moment I saw gameplay from Level Cap, I was immediately just went right to pre-order. Cuz that's what we want. Cinematic trailers are cool and everything, and I'm sure they're great for marketing, but they don't do anything to sell the game to gamers. We want to see gameplay, and I think EA did it right this time around. They got a bunch of YouTubers to come to LA, play the game, show it to people, and that's what gets pre-orders, because we now have visual representation of what the game is going to be. Right? Why are my macros missing? I knew I was missing something. Oh, right. I put them all in one. Never mind. Yep. I forgot. I put them all in one. I don't know if they were available at those levels. I doubt it. Yeah, Army's Payon should have been available. Am I just not noticing that they're activating? That's a recast of 120 seconds. But it lasts 45 seconds. Each one of these lasts 45 seconds. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change that to be 46 seconds. Okay. That way it has a second to kind of, you know, activate the next one. So I have Army's Payon after Mage's Ballad, and then Wanderer's Minuet, which wouldn't have been available at the time, so that's fine. But I need to know if whether or not my thing works. So that's how you sell a game. You get the footage out there. You let people see gameplay, and that's what gives us the knowledge as to whether or not we want to pre-order it. Pre-orders are generally a stupid idea because they're not necessary in this day and age of digital, you know, distribution. However, somebody in my position, which I'm not like a big YouTuber or anything, but somebody in my position would want to have the game ready day one so that when it does come out, I can play it. and stream it. And hopefully, which is not going to happen, but hopefully the servers are stable enough where I can play it. I doubt it, though. Battlefield has not ever gone off without a hitch. So, I expect, even though I'm taking the day off, we're probably going to be sitting at the launch screen fighting the servers to get in. It's going to suck, but that's the way it goes. Hell, we might even have trouble getting into the beta when that comes around next week. But expect streams both Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to try to... The Friday before, so the 8th, I'm going to try and get... If I need to do any kind of grocery shopping, I'll try and do it Friday night. So there may or may not be a stream on the 8th. This is Battlefield's chance to dethrone Call of Duty. And I know it's a stupid thing to say. Jeremy said it in a text that he sent me. He said, this is really the Call of Duty killer. No, it's not. No game can kill Call of Duty except Call of Duty. Period. That's just the way it's going to be. However, I think this will give Call of Duty a very hard time because people are excited for this Battlefield. Extremely excited for this Battlefield. And that's a really good thing. We got to see gameplay. It sold people. What we saw might have been technically a vertical slice. But it is indicative of how the game will run. Because it may not be finalized yet, but I think everything we saw, beta is technically, should be, roughly about 90% complete. 90% bug-free, with the last 10% for margin of error. And I keep bringing this up, but when I was working at Vicarious Visions and we were trying to release Skylander Swap Force, they said it has to be 98% bug-free. And we did it. We did it. There are still probably some minor bugs in the game. It did not receive updates after we released it because it was fine. It worked. And updates cost like 10 grand a piece. So they wanted to make sure that when it released, it was 98% complete, and we did it. It is a damn near flawless game. And I'm proud to have said proud to say that I worked on it. Very happy that I worked on it because it was something I always dreamed of doing, being a QA tester. And ever since I saw Grandma's Boy way back when, and I've recently rewatched it again because it's an awesome movie. I just wish it was a more permanent job, but you know, even back in 2013, it was not. So, Grandma's Boy, while it was, I think Grandma's Boy came out in 2008. Maybe at the time, QA testers were more permanent because, well, they were fewer and farther between. And companies could afford to keep on permanent QA testers. When I got into the business, it was not. They'd gone on to contract working for QA testers because they realized that it was cheaper and they didn't need them during development, so... He picked up a lot of enemies. He almost died there. Healer almost didn't get him. Can I get... Holy crap, dude. Why couldn't I freaking target? Oh, this guy's going, man. He's go, go, go. And I'm dead. I don't know what we're supposed to do there. I'm so confused. Did I have to interact with the mammoth or whatever? Why can't I target him? Holy shit. I wasn't anywhere near that! I don't... okay. This is annoyingly stupid. I wasn't anywhere near that attack and I still freaking got hit. This was the attack that he killed me with. I'm pretty sure I was outside the freaking... the brown circle there. Am I gonna die again? Yeah, see, that's what's bullshit, is that I freaking was in the circle with the mammoth the first time, and it still killed me. So, screw that fight. That was nonsense. Oh, wait. Oh, do we go to this guy? I guess what I'm saying ultimately is that the people years ago that were telling me to just pick a game and play that one game, they were right, but I just didn't know what game that was supposed to be, you know? There are still people to this day that are holding on for dear life that Destiny 2 will actually be a good game, and it's just not anymore. The minute they started removing content from the game and basically stealing our money was the minute that it started to fall downhill rapidly, and nobody knew to what extent, but the last expansion was it for me, and I didn't even bother playing the stories because everything turned dumb. The story was horribly written, and I was just not about it anymore. Oh. Did we need to touch a shadowy orb? No, we didn't die. Not exactly a barometer for success, but you know. I mean, look at this. Here's the thing about these fights is that they die so fast even at this level that it doesn't even matter if we get the mechanics right. Even though we've been level capped to their level, we're still kicking the crap out of them. I'll be curious to see how many tomestones I get out of this. This is a hard difficulty one, so... But, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna give me, like, 100 or anything. I just assume that I'm gonna get into the ones that give me 100 at this level, because it's, you know, closer to 60. That was a female? Alright, why are you targeting me? Oh, what? What the hell, dude? I'm gonna die. I'm not dead. Holy crap. What a waste of my ballad, though. Like, it really... Dude, why am I being frozen? How come everybody else is avoiding it? Alright, freaking douchebags. Inconceivable. I know where that got that from. Late on the limit break. I got 50 tomestones for this one. I'm not too far away. I'm literally right next to it. I just realized I chose the wrong freaking scene collection for this stream, but whatever. Doesn't matter. No big deal. Well, we, you know, we got some tomestones. It is good. It is very good. We almost got to level 59. So, judging by how long it's taking me to get to 60, I imagine it's going to take us a while to get to 70. So, I'll definitely have plenty of time to get the gear for level 60. But, that is not going to be this evening. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. I appreciate your time and attention as always. And if you're looking for more streaming, just stay tuned. In a few minutes, I'm going to be starting up another stream. We're just going to be playing some Battlefield 2042. Working on that AEK 971 since we finished the MTAR 21 last night. So I hope to see you guys there in the next few minutes. But that's going to do it for this this stream for Final Fantasy 14. And please join me again on Monday, where we begin our journey through Battlefield. I am going to try to stick to this time. I'm just really hyped about Battlefield 6, and we have still quite a bit of time left before the game releases, but next week we have the open beta starting for me on the 9th. So next Saturday. We'll be streaming all weekend. So, you know, be ready for that. But starting next Monday, we're going Battlefield hard, baby. We're going to continue working on Battlefield 2042. And then once we're done with the primary weapons, we will probably move to other Battlefields. Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 4 is probably more apt just because it's the closest to Battlefield 6. So, you know, get in the mood of modern combat, modern warfare. So I hope to see you guys then. If you're not going to be going to the next stream in a few minutes. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Final Fantasy 14. I'll see you guys later.